Hi, Edyta. Welcome to my
Hello.
podcast.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here and excited.
Great. It's first time we have someone speaking from South America. I had a couple of Brazilian guests, but the first time that a person is based in South America. So you are taking the lead. Hope there will be many more because I think there's a lot of interesting people over
Yes,
there,
yes.
and I'm also looking forward to meet some of them. As I said that before, we're discussing. I'm going to Brazil in September, and I look forward for that. So I'm very, very happy about it. And I also appreciate the way you speak on social media because you are very frank, you are yourself, you just tell what you think, which I think is very common in Poland. It's just that was my experience that people are what they are. I don't know if you would agree with that or not.
So true. Yes, I'm from Poland. So Polish people, we are very direct. So if you ask us a real question, you're gonna get a real answer. Sometimes you may not like it. I believe that maybe we could be less honest, but I think it's necessary, yeah, to say what you
Mhm.
really feel without hurting anybody, yeah, like
Yes.
that big, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think radical honesty it's a very good thing. If everyone will be transparent with others, we will live in a much better world. Of course, there are boundaries that we have to respect. We need to be aware of people's perspectives and sensitivities. But if everyone will be him or herself, to be way better, way better.
Vito, I was raised that way. Like
Mm.
when, for example, I was a really great student, but my mom was always telling me, Edyta, but you have to be the best student. So, like in Poland, you grow up without any kind of there's not many of compliments you get. So criticism for Polish people, it's something that makes us feel like I can grow, I can develop, I can become a better person. So if you sugar sweet me, I feel like, wait a second, there is no place for growth. If there is no place for growth, I don't want to hear those very sweet compliments. I prefer
Mm.
like honesty, constructive criticism, of course, because you can grow, you can improve. That's why we're here on this earth to become better and better every single day.
Yeah, 100%, 100% agree. But I believe you are a bit challenged because in Brazil, people like to compliment others, especially women, I would say.
Yes, in Brazil, that's quite difficult because, like, I live in Bahia, and people here are really like very warm-hearted. Yes, they kind, but they're not very honest sometimes with what they say. Yes, they give you a lot of compliments because they try to be kind, right? It comes
Mhm.
from the culture, and I'm nice when I feel like, wait a second, should I be nice here, or should I give a criticism, or maybe should I maybe speak not? Yes,
Mm.
so it depends. But I love Brazilian people. I will tell you, I've been living in Brazil for 10 years and it's been amazing adventure. I love that place. People here are really like loving. And in my country, which is Poland, people are really reserved. We need more time to open. We need more time to trust. And here, when I arrived to Brazil, I was like loved just because, like,
Yeah.
we love you. I'm like, God, wait a second. What have I done? Yeah.
Why do you
To
think Polish
huh?
people are that way, reserved?
I believe that because of history, right? Because
Mm.
of the wars, first war, second war, communism, post-communism. So for example, like my mom, she's very strict. She was raised during the communism. So communism made people really like strong, and people had to fight for things they wanted. They had to work to survive. So there was not much of a space for love and caring. So I was raised that way, which is also great.
Mhm.
Discipline, I was the best student in my class. You have to be the best student of the school. I was the best student in my school, but you're not the best in Poland. So I kind of grew this way, feeling like being criticized over and over. But I kind of like it in a way because, I got used to being criticized. And because of that, today I'm in the place where I am. And in Brazil, people are lighter with criticism, which is what I
Yeah.
really like here. Yeah, I feel loved in Brazil more than loved in Poland.
But let me go back to that comment on communism without being much political here. Because in the West, what I mean by the West is mostly Western Europe and the US and all that. People see communism like, yeah, like hippie lifestyle. That's our like romantic idea of communism. People, we believe that everyone is smoking weed, everything is accepted, gay rights and all that. And I think we are badly wrong. But I would like a Polish person to tell exactly what communism has an experience.
Exactly. Like, as an experience, right? How was the real communism during the normal time? So people had the same rights. Yes. Like, let's say if you were a cleaner or you were a doctor, you were getting the same kind of wages, the same salary. Yeah. So it's like egalitarian, yes, population.
Egalitarian, yeah.
Yeah, egalitarian. Yes. So everybody has the same rights. But for example, you got a paper on which was written how much of a product you can buy a month. Is it liberty? So let's say my mom would go to shop and she would buy 1 kilogram of chicken, 1 kilogram of meat, 1 piece of bread, let's say, per week. This was the only thing she could do. The other thing is there were no products on the shelves. The coffee, for example, drinking coffee in communism was almost impossible. We didn't even have a coffee machine. It was really rare. Wow. Like jeans. So when it comes to buying things and having things, it was like everybody had the same. The other thing was you could not travel anytime you wanted. If you wanted to go abroad, you had to ask the government for a permission to travel. So is it liberty? Of course, a lot of people say like this, there was work for everybody during the communism. This is true, because when you were 18, you had to go to army or you had to go to work. There was work. But how fair is that someone who studies at university for years gets the same wages as someone who, for example, works in the shop? That's not liberty. Yes, that's really bad. And the other thing, like women also worked very hard at this time. Yes, they had to make clothes. Yeah, they didn't have also the opportunity to work on higher positions, for example, than men. So for us Polish people, communism was nothing good. And it was actually killing the economy of our country. So our hero, it's Lech Wałęsa, which probably everybody knows. Yes, and of course, yes, and other people who helped him. And he kind of he solved us from communism. And we are so grateful. Communism finished in Poland in 1989 when I was 3 years old. So I remember on my skin, I felt post-communism. I remember there was just one shop in the city in which I could see toys, which I could never have. Jeans, my first jeans I had maybe when I was 17, 15, something like that. And yes, of course, people smoked a lot. Yes, they could have access to cigarettes. They had great access to vodka. Yes, so why was that? If you give people a lot of access to alcohol, you can kind of manipulate them better. Yes.
Yes.
People get drunk. Yes. Smoke cigarettes, put some music, and that's called freedom, which we Polish people we don't disagree with. And today, if you praise communism publicly in Poland, you can get to jail. So it's illegal.
Really? Is that serious?
It is that serious. You cannot say communism was great. Even record yourself this way. You would be sentenced. And even the streets, there were a lot of streets in Poland with a name of people who were in favor of communism. Even the name of the streets were changed. The name of the schools as well. So it's a serious thing. Yes. We are really against it.
So I hope the people in Western Europe are listening to you, because they might learn something here. There are a lot of people now praising communism without knowing what is it. And I will give another example. When I lived in Krakow, I was a bit impressed by seeing John Paul II name all over the place. First is when you arrive, it's the airport. It has his name, and then I think one of the main streets has his name, and squares, and there are plenty of references to John Paul II. And I told this to some people in Western Europe. John Paul II in Poland is seen as a sign of freedom, and people say, "How come? He's part of the Vatican. He's part of these fascist things and repression and all that." But you have to understand Polish history. You cannot just see other country with the lens of your own. It's wrong. And for Polish people, John Paul II was relevant.
Exactly, yes. I mean, because I also feel that people didn't really listen to John Paul II. You have to listen to him talking to people. So basically, he was not even praising the religion. Guys, follow me. He was saying follow God, follow good. Yes, be the good person, preach the good things. And he was the one who helped Polish people during the communism. He said like this: don't be afraid. He said to Polish people when he came. He couldn't say nothing. He couldn't say, guys, let's make a strike. Let's finish the communism. He just said like this: people, listen to me. Like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And we read this, don't be afraid, at this time. So John Paul II is our hero. He's the guy that I listen to even till today. I sometimes put some video and I listen to his kind words of love, words of freedom as well. Yes, he was just preaching good things. It was not Vatican this.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. So let's go back to the time we're still in Poland. Can you tell us when did you leave and why? Like, can you give us a bit of background of that chapter in your life?
Yes, exactly. So I lived in Poland, and it was a very difficult time, very, very difficult time financially to my mom. I was raised by my mom only. I had an alcoholic father who never looked after us, never supported us. So I was seeing my mom struggling, and I suddenly got some opportunity to go to England to work in a restaurant. And sure, when I've heard it, I was like, God said, I can make money. I can be working there. So of course I left Poland. My mom, she saved so much money. It was 700 zloty. It was for my mom, it was the end of the world. And I went to live in England, which was a heaven. I was working as a waitress. That's how I started. I remember getting my first money. I was in pounds. I was so happy. I was like, God, Mom, I'm rich. I can buy bags. I can buy pictures. I can buy books. Oh my God, I loved always reading. I bought maybe 10 or 11 books about different things. And I said to my mom, I don't know how I'm going to read it all, but I'm going to learn, yeah. And then I started to do, yes, I did an English course. Yes, I graduated as a teacher. I'm a teacher, yes. I teach English. And then after that, when I was working in a restaurant, I met a love of my life. I mean, I thought that, yeah. It was a Brazilian man.
We all think that, no? When it happens. We all think that, yeah.
We all think that, yes. So the time in England was awesome. I met a lot of people from different countries, and I met my husband. And I will tell you, that's something really interesting to know, why I fell in love with Brazilian men. Because I have never seen anybody ever speaking with such love about family, mother, father, brother, as my husband did. He was he was not this kind of baiano. He was a really serious man. He's an engineer today. And when he spoke about his family, I was like, God, I said, I would love someone to speak like this about me one day. So that's why I fell in love, because of the emotions I felt. And then after that, yes, we lived in England together for 7 years. We had a boy, Mauricio. Mauricio today is 16. And because of my today ex-husband, but thanks to him, yeah, we have a great relationship today. I came to Brazil because of him. So I'm really glad that God, yes, brought him to my life, because it is one of the best thing ever happened to me was my husband. Because of him, I'm in Brazil. I have Brazilian son, Polish and Brazilian son. So this is how I came.
That's such a trajectory, because usually people do the other way around. They go from Brazil to Europe, and they went from Europe to Brazil. And I relate to that. So I remember when I moved to Poland, I was living in Ireland. I'm back. And everyone said, but all Polish people are coming to Ireland. Why did you go there? I said, another reason for me to go. Because I like the idea. I don't want to sound arrogant, but I like the idea of the narrow path. I like to go where people are not going, because I'm curious about. If no one is going, there must be something there for me to see. Maybe I will regret it once I go there, but I can always go back. So I like to explore what people are not exploring, because I think there is something there that maybe I will benefit. Maybe I can make something out of it. Yeah, is that something that resonates with you by going to Brazil as an European?
I mean, when I came to it was really an easy decision for me to make. Yeah, I spent here 4 times. I was here on holidays 4 times. But I was very much criticized for my choice. Very much criticized for my choice. My whole family says, you crazy. No, we don't want this guy in our family. So I actually kind of suffered that I was a little bit rejected when I took the decision of coming to Brazil. My family really rejected me. Some of the part of Brazil, my Polish family, they still reject me, but God bless them. I pray for their soul. I'm a great person. And I came here, and I will tell you, it was really difficult. Because when I was on holidays in Brazil, it was like, you come with money, you go to the best places. And I came to a city, and I was like, after 1 month, I said to my husband, I hate you. What have I done? Everything was upside down, different people, different food, different habits. I didn't really feel like home. But I'm telling this to you, not as a criticism to say bad about Brazil, just to tell you that I was really a different person. I was close. I was rigid. If my students would be late, I would be saying, leave the class. You're late 1 minute. You can do that. Yes. And so I would be really like kind of rude to people without knowing. This is how my culture was. Yeah. So I was like white and black. You can do it. You cannot do it. And I would see people like dancing also in Brazil. And I was like, God, what the hell is wrong with those people? Yes. And then I started to learn that I was the person who had to learn a lot of things. I was the person who had to open my heart and be more tolerant, be more loving, and be open to learn. So that's how all my change happened here in Brazil. If I lived in Poland, my God, no one deserved a terrible girl. I was terrible.
From what part of Poland are you?
I'm from Zabrze. For you to know, Zabrze is like 45 minutes away from Krakow.
Yeah, Zabrze, it rings a bell. Yeah.
South.
There is I think I know it from football. There's a football team called Górnik Zabrze.
Yes, Górnik Zabrze. Yes.
Yes.
We have a football team, yes. But I wasn't born there. I was born in some very little village under Warsaw, Ostrołęka.
And then you moved to that part of Poland.
And then my mom, when she divorced my father, she moved us to another place. Here we ran away from my alcoholic father, and we came to Zabrze, where we lived.
Yeah.
My mom told me
it's a big country, Poland. Like I tend to divide it like in 4 parts, but maybe you can expand that or not. So I see Poland as Warsaw towards the east. Then you have the Baltic part, where it's Gdansk, Gdynia, and and the third one. Yeah, I lived there for a year, so
amazing. Amazing.
And then the south, where it's like Krakow, Zakopane, and the part next to Germany, Wrocław, and the other one I can't remember now. Not Secheni. I don't remember. It starts with SZ something. I cannot pronounce that one.
Szczecin.
Yeah, I couldn't pronounce that one. So that's how I see like the division, and every part is almost like a different country. You have one like very much Baltic, with a lot of influence from the sea. Then you have the part next to Germany, so it's very much Western European. You have the south with mountains, culture, and then you have something more towards Eastern Europe.
There's huge diversity. The same like in Brazil, different state, different culture, different food, different kind of people. Yes.
That's and you always lived in Bahia, or you were in different parts of Brazil?
Oh God, I even have a map so I don't forget. I'm ready. I lived in Rio Grande do Sul. I lived there for like maybe 3 years. I lived in Rio de Janeiro. Amazing as well for 9 months. I was in São Paulo, visiting São Paulo. I was in Curitiba. I was in Sergipe, Aracaju, Brasília. Yes, I visited Brasília. I was in Goiás. Yeah, Goiás. Brazil is Goiás. So actually, I have visited a lot of places, and I loved living in Rio Grande do Sul. Do you know Rio Grande do Sul?
Yeah, I haven't been there yet, but I would love to go.
Yes, it's like I lived in some place which was colonized by German people, so closer to my culture, very close people. But when it comes to nature, the food, anyway, the people, it was an amazing place, but really cold. I wouldn't come back there. I prefer hot
cold, like coming from Poland. I wouldn't say that cold.
Yes, but yes. So
true,
but it's
how cold can that be there? Like 5 degrees, 10 degrees, maybe.
I guess something like that. Yes, exactly like that. Not that cold, but after living in Bahia, any kind of place is cold place.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. So Can you call Brazil home now after 10 years? Would you say that's my
I
home?
It's my
That's
home.
where my heart
I will do
is.
it here. My body is going to be thrown away into ocean. It's like I love here. I believe it's like it really works that way. Where you feel fine with, when you feel fine with yourself, yes, you live with self-love. You have the job you like. You have people around you that loves you and you love them. When you have this peace, I'm really with God, yes, like with God, and I'm very spiritual. When you get this peace inside your heart, then you can actually build your home in any kind of place. But because Brazil is like, I love here, I love Bahia. People really complain about Bahia, even Baianos. They say it is very disorganized. Yeah, the structure is very little, but when it comes to place, this is paradise. I live in a paradise. I have beach anywhere I go. There's like Morro de São Paulo, Itacaré, Salvador. When it comes to nature, oh my God, it's amazing. And I feel like there is a lot of opportunity here for people who want to study, people who are like, if you want to make your living in Brazil, you have to be hardworking. It's not the same as easy as is in Europe. Yeah. But and I think also, yes, Bahia has a big trouble with education. Yeah, education is expensive. Yes, quality of education is not always the best. But I always say, you are the captain of your own boat. You decide about your education. It's not on me because I'm your teacher. It's on you. You have your books, you have internet, you have social media. If you are an ignorant and you don't know certain things, it's just because you decided not to know. Because nowadays, your house, it's your vehicle of university. Your computer is your best teacher ever. And just people without any, I don't know, maybe some ambition, yeah? They just live in stagnation and they call it, oh, the government. It's like a lot of Brazilian people still say it very openly. Oh, the government is so bad. And where the hell have you been? Where the government, have done it to you? Look, I believe that in Brazil also, I always say it to my fans, yeah? You have to work on yourself and then complain about the others. Be the change you want to see in people, yes? I want everybody to be different. What about you? Have you seen yourself in a mirror looking very miserably, right? So I think we have to have this honesty. Brazilian people, that's what I'm preaching on my Instagram. Meet with yourself. Meet with the little devil inside you.
I see that all the time. I think one of the things that are very good is making yourself accountable for the things you care that matter. Like if there's something that you want to implement in your life, I think you will put all the efforts to to turn this into a reality. And you are aware that there are challenges and obstacles on the way. Just you need to do your best. Otherwise, it will never happen. And it's not only you doing it. You also tell others that there is a chance for everyone. Maybe some people have it easier than others, but as you just said, we cannot just blame external factors as the government or the situation or the way you were brought up, because nowadays we have so many tools, like as just mentioned, technology, and we are more or less from the same age. So I was born in '83, so we are same generation. So I totally get it. That I remember the time that I wanted to, let's say, to get access to a book. Let's say I was very much into rock, when I was young. I'm still very much into rock myself. So I would read the lyrics. Then sometimes I would quote, let's say, a poet or a writer. So I would go to the library and try to get that book as soon as possible. And sometimes the book was taken by another person in my town. Nowadays, I just go on the internet. No?
Exactly. So you know what? That's what I'm doing right now, because I'm feeling like that. I owe this country because I've been here. I've been treated like I have never been really disrespected here. People treat me with love, with respect. So I feel like I have to do something here. So I made a project which is called like New You, but it's like in Portuguese, right? And I will be preaching like my as in, it's not my truths, but like, let's say my truths about life. So I want to talk to young people, like teenagers, very young adults, about false beliefs. Because like if you are being born in poor society, your thinking is like poor. If you have like mother, like, I don't know, didn't give you the right education, maybe there was no love, maybe the father is alcoholic, as mine was, maybe there is no anyone who can tell you that you can be thinking and living a different life. So I believe that we can give young people the direction, give them the tools, and tell them about it. Because if you are from a very difficult background, sometimes it's very difficult to get out, just like that, yeah. And you are still surrounded by people who live a certain way. So I will be doing that. Yes, I'm going to start next week. Yeah, going through schools, public schools, and speaking to very young people about you have opportunities, yes, and you are the one who can save yourself. Yeah,
that's a very good initiative. So I will do my best to promote. I'll keep an eye on your posts on social media.
It will be on Instagram. It will be everywhere. Yes.
Great. I think it needs to be promoted, as much as we can, and use all the available tools. And when you were saying that for those people who are born in a rough circumstance, and then they want to see some improvements in their lives, I believe that other challenge that they might face is envy from others, because they'll say, "Oh, this guy is making it. He must be doing something that is dishonest. He must be in touch with someone who is not reliable. He must be friends with the criminals." And yes, sometimes it's the case, but most cases it's not. So people also need to handle the fake friends, I would say.
Yes. Marco Aurélio falava sempre uma frase que eu amo. Ele falava o seguinte...
You speak in Portuguese, by the way.
Yes, in Portuguese?
You're speaking Portuguese now.
Sorry.
It's not because of me, just because of the audience. Sorry.
No, the philosopher, yes, Marco Aurelius, he said something really interesting, yeah? If you win yourself, you can win the world. Yeah. And that was the essence of human being. Every single day we have to learn something, yeah? Get to some place, develop, get better, yeah? And if you can, yes, like be in control of and know who you are and who you want to become, then you can actually do anything. First, it starts with you, and then the world, yes, can change.
Yeah, it's a great principle, and I think you can apply in many circumstances. Now, it can be on your business, can be in your community, can be in your very little activities you do every day, and you might see the impact maybe only in a year or two. I think the biggest challenge, that's something I've been facing and I would like to share, and maybe because you've been on this journey maybe for longer than me, it's on the beginning, because there's not much tangible results, and you need to be patient, because there's not much people listening to you, and you're just building up your community. So it takes time to get used to the idea that the thing is growing and there is not much repercussions.
Exactly. So let me tell you another story. I 1 year ago exactly, yes, I left a very toxic relationship. I was toxic too, by the way, and I was really depressed. I was like really super depressed, and I felt like, God, like give me a sign of something I can do to get out, to become better me. And I started CrossFit. And I remember, imagine me today, I was really sluggish. I was a little bit obese. I was slow. I remember the first class. I was like, those people are crazy. Like, what is going on? Like jumping on the box, yes? Going up. Oh my God. I was like, no. I said, but I went there. Yeah. I was like, Edyta, give it a try. Yeah. And then the second day, I just went there because there was like, okay, let's just try the second time. Let's just go more one day. And I remember me feeling terrible. I would be like doing like translations for some companies by the computer, being like tired and really looking really badly. And then I was keeping going. And every week it was easier and easier and easier. And today I'm so proud because it's been like 1 year of me practicing CrossFit. I can't show my muscles, but I got so much fit, slimmer. Now I feel like full of energy, but it took me 1 year. And every day when I stood up, I wanted to give up. Every day. I was like, no, too difficult, uncomfortable. No, I don't want to do it. And I didn't give up. It was like Monday till Friday. I would just go in there, even crying my depression. Oh my God. Yeah, but I would be going there. And today, God, if I wouldn't have this process, I wouldn't learn today. Because of CrossFit, I'm more disciplined. I'm studying now physical education because I want to become a CrossFit trainer in the future, yes, or a trainer of women. So can you see? So I think through the difficulties, if you go through the difficulties and you don't give up, you just rest a little, oh God, you don't know where you can be. Magic started to happen.
100%. Well, 100%. And I think at some point, the things that were challenging, they just become natural. You just do them spontaneously because it's just the way it is. So I will give you one of my experience in the sports field. Like I think it was like 2 years ago, I started going to the gym at 6 a.m. empty stomach. And on the beginning, I thought, well, maybe I should write my will. I will faint and die. It's not that I have a lot of portfolio to give to others, but I mean, we all have some, no? And
yes.
I'm still around. I'm more fit than ever. And the most interesting thing, I cannot imagine not going to the gym at 6 a.m. almost every day with an empty stomach. Like if someone takes that away from me, I would go mad. I would go mad. I need to do it. On the beginning, it was like, is it something that it's suitable to me? Now it's just the way it is. Like that, night and day.
So like comfort, this is like finding comfort in discomfort, yes?
Yeah.
So true. So this is amazing, yes? And you see the results also, you feel better about yourself, yeah? Have more energy during the day.
And the other thing interesting about sport is people who tend to not like sports, they think, oh, if I'm going to the gym every day, let's say 1 hour, 2 hours, I'm going to be exhausted because it's a lot of time that I'm, I say, running or cycling or crossfitting, whatever that they do. But it's the opposite because you are renewed after being in the gym or whatever exercise you are doing. It's very funny because you are, instead of being tired, no, you just get rid of so much bad energies. Yes.
Amazing.
It's incredible.
So you've been going to the gym for how long?
I started, when was that? I think it was December 2022 at 6 a.m.
Oh, it's been a long time, yes?
Or May 2022 or 2021. I can't remember. It was during COVID, And I started going at 6 a.m. And now it's just part of me. And on the weekends, unfortunately, my gym only opens at 8 or 9. So I just go for a jog in the park. No excuse, no excuse. No. And then I rest either Saturday or Sunday. Just it's the day that I can indulge myself in some sleep. Because I think I also like the idea of deprive my things of certain things. And then when you have it, it feels very good. It's like, I better eat sweets. But when I eat one sweet, it feels great. Because like one sweet amount, let's say.
Yes.
No more.
I mean, it's good to know that we are not the victims, yes? And with the diet, what is a great activity for people who are like curving for things like sweets? Every time when I feel like eating pizza, I say to my brain, Edyta, don't you want to look really nice in that dress? Don't you want to look good in that bikini? How will you feel like if you will start coming back to your own diet? Do you want to feel that bad? Do you want to look that bad? And I kind of switches. I'm like, thank you very much, pizza. I'll eat my salad. And then I thank the salad I eat. So I eat my salad with chicken. I say, God, thank you that I can eat that and feel fulfilled. Yes, like, and I can be still healthy. Yeah. So we have to switch that, because if you always try to find, I deserve this little bit of cake, I deserve this and that, you make these excuses. Yeah. You get nowhere by making excuses.
And then people think, it's just because I'm not feeling very well. It's just because it's someone's, I don't know, birthday, or just because my football team won a tournament that I feel good or I feel bad about it. There's always a reason to justify a bad decision. There's always something to cover, something to celebrate. It's like the human brain can be stupid, and so is mine. Huh?
Yes. So is yours, yeah?
Yeah. I'm not saying like that. I'm not saying, everyone is stupid. No, I was there, and sometimes I found that trap, like everyone else.
Yes. On my therapy, I was on therapy for very long, and my therapist taught me something really interesting. She said, like, Edyta, every time when you feel uncomfortable and you feel sad and miserable, ask yourself, what am I learning here? What does the word teach me here? So every time when I'm down, I'm like, Edyta, what's the lesson? What is the lesson? There is a lesson. And then there always is a lesson. Yes, there always is a lesson for us to learn. So it helped me a lot.
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah. I think it's like finding the light. There's a Leonard Cohen sentence that he says, "There's a crack in everything. It's how the light gets in." That's a
Oh,
sentence of his, which I think is fantastic. Right? So it's
beautiful.
exactly what your therapist was saying. Like, okay, I'm going through a dark day or period or I don't know season,
Yes, we
something,
all do. Yes.
and then okay, so but there is a lesson, and the moment you can name the lesson, you feel way better. It's like when Jordan Peterson says, "Okay, I identified the dragon. I'm going to feel better because at least I know that the dragon has
Exactly.
five
Yes.
heads or has a tail. I know there's a dragon, and maybe if I know that he has 5 heads, I can know where he is, and I can fight back."
Exactly. If you give the fear the name,
Mm.
sometimes it's not as scary as we thought. Yes.
Yeah,
So true.
100%. Is there anything you miss from Poland?
You know what? Of course, I miss my friends. Yes, I miss my mom. I miss my sister. But I feel like, can I be honest? Like, this is going to be really funny, but I miss. God forgive me for that. I miss going to bookshop. I live
Mhm.
in a part of Brazil in which we don't really have a bookshop. Like I love this feeling of going like to museums, to
Yes.
go to theater in my city. Everything is available in one place. Yeah, we go to city, we look for some books, we exchange them, and then we go to a museum, and then we go to theater or to some place where people sing opera. So in the place where I live, we don't have access to that. So I'm not saying that we don't have it in Brazil in general, yes, but I miss it very much, yes. And I don't really miss that much. Like, of course, some kind of foods in Poland. Because I am a teacher and I teach Polish people. So
Mm.
because of that, I have a lot of contact with Poles, and which I love, because we're so different than Brazilian people. We are totally different, yes. But I miss that, and I think just that actually,
What
like.
are you teaching Polish people? Is it English? What's the
I teach them
subject?
business English, business English.
Mhm.
My students, Polish students, yes, I teach English to them.
Yeah. Your English is great. Actually, before the interview, because I never heard you speaking English, but I was sure your English would be great, and here's a confirmation. And I was thinking, because many people, after being in the country for a decade, like yourself, then instead of having their native accent, they would have the accent of the place where they are, But you don't have this Brazilian accent where they speak English.
Ah,
They speak in Facebook,
Facebook, yeah, good, good. Yes.
Yeah, they keep saying that. No, it's so fun. Let's post in Facebook or in
Facebooky,
or
exactly,
TikTok.
Instagramy. Exactly, yes. So Vito, maybe I will tell the opposite. When I divorced, I came back to Poland. It was like 4 years ago. I took my son with myself, and when I was in Poland, of course, yes, I started to work. My career was getting better, but I missed Brazil. I had this feeling. I was like, I felt suffocated. I was like, I want to go back home. And I remember my son coming and saying, like, Mom, when are we going home? And I was like, Brazil. He was like, Mom, I want to go home. And I missed every single thing, every like opening the window and hearing people, pipoca, yes, milho doce, going to street, seeing people smiling. In
Mm,
Poland, people treat me a little bit like weirdo.
yeah,
Any place I went to Poland, people would ask me a question. Where are you from? Like, it's like, I'm Polish. No, but you're not from here, right? Where
really.
are you from? Because I'm happy. Yes, I come to shops. I said, hello, guys. Like, how are you? Oh my God. If you ask a Polish lady in a shop, how is she? She'll be like crying. Because when was the last time someone asked her? And I was working at the airport. I was working as a translator, like an interpreter. And I
Mhm.
would be like translating to Brazilian football players. They write on which they could stay, yes, based because a lot of Brazilian players come to Poland, yes, and they have false documents. Some of them know that, some of them they don't. Those people who didn't know, yes, they struggle a lot with the documentation. So I was translating, yeah, your rights, what you can do and not. And people there, like at the airport, they loved to have us. They were like, Edyta is coming, Brazilian people here, let's have a party. and we were doing all in our hands that we could do to help people to stay in Poland, because they were loved by Polish people, Brazilian people. So and I was feeling happy. I was like, my God, Brazilian people, wow, amazing, yeah, let me work here. And after sometimes I felt like, God, I don't want to be in Poland. I don't want to be the weirdo. Like in Brazil, life is easier. Here, like you cannot speak like that. You cannot look like that. You cannot having that colors. Like, we have a lot of rules, yeah? Like don't touch people that much. Of course, we have to respect the rules. But I felt like everything was artificial. Edyta, why do you speak so much? Why do you touch me? Why did you say that? And I was like tired of explaining. Why am I happy? People would be like, why are you so happy?
Yeah.
Like being happy is like being crazy, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Being happy is being crazy.
100%. That's exactly what I experienced. And I can tell a funny story myself. So in my first 6 months, I lived in Katowice, which is not as not as not as multicultural or cosmopolitan as Krakow, no. So it was even more Polish than Krakow. And I worked for a multinational company, and my manager was a Polish woman. She was I would say a very old-fashioned person in many ways. I mean, we got along, but she was very old-fashioned. And during the team meeting, sometimes I was smiling, and I was sometimes telling a joke, or even though the workload was heavy and we were always struggling to cope with that. But I think there was room for a smile. I think there was room for a joke, for humor. No, I know the boat was sinking, but why not? Why not make it lighter? So, and I always had a bottle of water with myself, like many people do, nothing unusual. And she didn't understand how could I smile in that dark circumstance where people were struggling to cope with work and all that, including myself. So she started to smell my bottle because she thought there was alcohol there. Really. She was like, but you just went to the shop. Are you sure? I just want to check what water you brought. And then I asked my colleagues, but is she drunk or what? No, she thinks you are drunk because you are smiling, and this is abnormal.
Basically, let's say like the definition of it, she was unhappy.
Yes.
People, they when they see someone happy, they relate it to something like substances, or she's crazy, or he's crazy. Yes. People don't know that you can be happy with very little. For example, like Brazilian people, if you go to even favelas here, slums, you see people being happy, like, and I know a lot of European people who are miserable. They open camera, I'm in Spain, I'm down. Happiness is something that you find within yourself, in your peace, in acceptance of who you are. I'm never going to be perfect, but by doing good to others, to myself, I become happier. And money, of course, money is great. God sent me more. Yes, money is a great tool. It gives us opportunity, travels, and everything we want. But if you don't find peace here in your heart, within your four walls, without your partner, without your kids, without anybody, just you and God, I believe in God, yes. Oh my God, you're going to live a miserable life. And I know a lot of people. That's why European people love my classes. They are like, Edyta, I'm in hospital. I said, God, you in hospital, but no, but no counseling class. I have to see you. Give me a little bit of energy. Mm-hmm. So that is how I keep my clients, really, because they say, like, Edyta, there is something about you, this energy in you, this love. I said, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I live in a very little place. I'm not the richest person ever. Not yet, but I plan it, yeah? But I'm very happy with little. Every day I bless. When you stand up in the morning, you have to bless every single thing you have. God, whatever you believe. If you don't believe in God, just say to yourself, thank you that I can have it, yeah? Thank you for the house I have. Thank you for the water. Oh, God, I can drink this water with lemon. How delicious is that? When you start your day in peace, without this distraction, computer, what am I supposed to do? You calm yourself and be in a grace and this thankfulness, yeah? In the morning, God, your life gonna change. And physical activity, people as well, yeah? Gives you adrenaline. And
were you always like this, or was there an event that helped you being all together?
No, absolutely not. I was miserable. I was miserable. I was one of the rudest person I knew on earth. God, it's true.
And
I was
honest.
working. Yeah, I was a manager in a restaurant in England, and I'll be like, do this, don't do that. I was terrible. I was criticizing people. I was talking behind people's back. I would be rude. I would be just unhappy. I was like unhappy, miserable. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when I came to Brazil and I saw that I came from England, people, I came from England.
Yeah.
And then when I saw people being like really kind and happy, I saw a devil in the mirror one day. I felt like, I don't like this girl. No one likes her, even myself. So I will tell you, Brazil took me, squeezed me to the ground and said, are you going to change or are you going to die alone, So I changed in Brazil. Of course, and I was reading books, doing courses. I am a coach. Yes, I help people also. I work as a life coach. So I started to educate myself, read books, podcast, travel in Brazil, and see that, Edyta, you want to be really happy? You have to change. Face the devil. Face the dragon, yeah? So it was painful. Now it's like, yeah, but it was damn hell of work, yeah. God, that was terrible. God forgive me for that.
Yeah. Talking of devils or dragons, maybe don't qualify to that monster level, but I believe that there are, and I feel embarrassed of that as a man, but I think there is a lot of idiots online, and they really prove my point of being idiots in the way they interact with women. And I'm sure you, as someone who expose yourself in social media with your open heart and your opinions and all that, get a lot of comments that are not that pleasant. So I would be interested in how do you handle these idiotic comments as a woman?
Oh my God. I mean, at the very beginning, it was difficult because I would read it and would be emotional about all of the comments I was getting. I was like, God, so disrespectful, God. And then I understood one thing, that the truth, it's something absolute. There's something like absolute truth about things. The only thing you can be sure about is yourself.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking like this, if I'm preaching, I really believe that what I'm preaching on my social media, now more than at the very beginning, because on my YouTube videos, the one that I recorded like 4 years ago, I was a little bit different person, yeah. But the truth that I'm having right now on Instagram, I feel like I'm doing this with love. I'm trying to be as much authentic as I can, and when I read some of the comments now, it's like, okay, that's interesting. And I send people love. I send you love. Sometimes I respond to some comments, of course, yeah, some very offensive ones. But I say like, oh, you must not have loved yourself much to write such a things, yeah. Or I explain things. And also because I preach things on Instagram. So I'm kind of very open, not that open, but like, I know that it's a consequence, yeah? If you preach something and you're very open and honest with your opinion, you would always get some comments. If I say like, man should be the provider, yes?
Yeah,
Man should be ambitious. Man is not to sit on a sofa and say, oh, how am I going to bring money to my family? If you want to have money, if you want to have family, you need money. And those are like things that I preach, and poor man gets offended, like, oh my God, yes. And they write a lot of funny comments, but I believe that the poverty comes from here as well, yes.
Yeah.
So I really sometimes I even play with that comments, like, God forgive me, but do it. Like, let me make a little comment here. But I don't feel hurt anymore. Like hurt, like in the past, I'm like, yeah, and you watch me anyway, yeah. You write him every comment under every single my video. You must be loving me, really, yeah, rather than hating, yeah. And I believe that when we speak to people and they hear something they dislike, they get offended.
Yes.
Nothing hurts more than that, yeah. Like I've heard it because I also hear a lot of things on the internet, like, okay, Edyta, you have to improve, you have to be a better person, you have to read more, yeah. But yeah,
I would say, like, when you posted that one on men should provide and they are in charge of the table or of the financials and all that, all the guys that were upset about that comment are just losers. And I'm sorry if I'm
Exactly.
strong
This
language.
is true. Yes, yes.
There was no guy who is all together. There's no like real alpha man who was upset by that comment, because he knows that it's
Vito,
not towards him.
Vito, imagine that there is a man who says like this. I say, if you invite me to a restaurant, you pay the bill. Not because I am the woman who needs your money. No, because you invited me. You are a man. The bill is 100 reais. And you divided it into like you and the woman. I said, what kind of man are you? And I said to girls, ran away. A real man in his, in his energy, he's not going to talk about 100 reais bill. Yes. We're not talking about chain apartment that costs 1 million in Brazil. Yeah. We talk about little bill. It's like, and people get offended. I say like, God, where is man? Yeah. And then people complain, women are very like masculine, but you know why are we masculine? Because we don't have a man next to us who can support us. Of course, I always will be in my masculine energy if I have to work, go there, do business, get money. Yes. Like sign some contract. I have to be in my masculine energy because no one would respect me. But if I come back home and I'm with a man who is in his feminine energy 24 hours a day, I can't be in my feminine energy. That's why today you see these women who says like, oh, we're against men. But it's not that. They just haven't found a man with whom they can feel safe and they can drop into their feminine energy. I came home, I feel safe, he loves me, he can deal with things. Financials, people can discuss, right? Yes. But if a man is poor, it's true, and a woman is getting more money, unfortunately, women, we don't respect men that earns less than us. I know a lot of people would get offended. Why? Because the power of men, it's also the power of having money. Not you paying my jewelry or paying my things, but like, it gives you security. So what he cannot get more money, I have to get more money, and then I have to pay more bills in the house. And women, real women who don't see their men like, wow, this guy, I don't admire you, I don't love you anymore. I don't love you if I don't admire you.
It's a matter of time. Like this guy is going to be cheated sooner or later. We all know that. And there's no. Yeah, can you imagine the guy saying, yeah, yesterday I was at home with my wife or my girlfriend, and then there was some weirdo around the neighborhood, and she went out and took him away. Like no guy would be okay to say that to others,
Exactly.
Would never tell that on a podcast. So that tells that it's not the way how things operate. If he would go, he would tell everyone. He will make it public. She will be telling to her friends. It's just the way we operate. I think there is so much biology denial these days that is making the world messed up, either from men and from women. And then also, if a man is too masculine, it's seen as toxic. No, if you just,
of course, yes,
if you just step up, you are just toxic. Right? There are some women, no, I am able to handle. Then some guys say, no, you know what? Yes. If I do something, I'm toxic. Then I don't care. I just sit and watch. Which is not fair, but sometimes it's the only response that some men have.
Yes, but Vito, imagine the same thing with cooking and cleaning. I will tell you the real truth. Is not that the women don't want to serve their men and say like, honey, I brought that cake for you, I made it. It's just because I have to take my money from my wallet to give the food that is on the table. This is the problem that we don't speak about, that it's from my money. There's electricity in the house. I paid this and that. And then you feel like, what? I'm working my ass off and I will be putting a meal for him. Because I will tell you, I say that like a joke. I say like, I will not serve a man. I will not serve a man that doesn't bring things to home and doesn't serve me as a woman. Why? I don't mind about cooking. Seriously, like making cake. I even like my son, when he comes visits me, I'm like, Mauricio, I made your favorite food. We women, we like it. But we don't like serving useless men. We just don't, we lose respect totally, right?
Yes, yeah. There's nothing less appealing than a useless man, that a man cannot fix anything.
This is normal, Vito. In our nature, it is normal that we look after our men. That is something that we really love. And honey, sit here, let me bring the tea. It's in our nature. If women say it's not, they lie because they're scared. Yes. We love looking after men, saying, honey, I love you, you are the best. We love to admire them. Say like, honey, wait a second, lie here. Let me bring your best, meal. Yeah, we like it. The man that deserves that.
Now that we're talking controversial topics, I'm going to add one more to the table just to ignite the internet. Like, I hate porn. Okay, so I'm going to refer porn just as an example. I think porn is a toxic thing. I said that on the podcast. I think it messes up people's minds, but I'm just going to use it for this specific context. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I'm very open about it. I don't think it should be banned, but it should be very much regulated. That being said, I think there is this myth of the guy who goes home and is able to fix the pipes or is able to fix the wall, and the woman gets turned on by that. And it's no wonder why is it happening, but there's nothing more appealing than a man who is able to solve problems. You know, whether it's a financial problem, whether it's something technical, whether it's sorting out the electricity bill or sorting out the issue with the airline on the phone, but the man who is able to fix or to find a solution, that's appealing. It's no wonder why this is turning into some sexual activities in adult movies, because women like that. You can see even on women's body language. When the man is able to fix something, I can see why the women blushing and they are, or you come up with something that will help us find a way forward. It's appealing.
So, Vito, I love what you said. And let me add something to pornography. I believe that if you are in a relationship in which your man has a trouble with pornography, because it is an addiction, yes? And it's a real for many relationships. You have to sit down with him and ask him, because I believe that men is a little bit unaware why they watch pornography. Usually they hide it, right? They hide it till it gets out. And I believe that men, when they choose a woman for themselves, they have to also choose carefully. Because if you find, I really believe that, because I know a lot of people who has the right partner. Edyta, I found this girl. Spiritually, we click, yes? Emotionally, we click. She's respectful. I feel like our level of intelligence is very similar. They have very similar beliefs. Of course, there are always going to be some challenges. No one's perfect. If you click, and those two people love each other and they want to live together, God, that's a huge commitment. And there is also a sexual commitment to it, right? Which you can talk with the partner, because why would you take the pleasure for something that disrespects your mother, your sister, your little daughter that is going to grow, yes? Because you give her life, yeah? Why would you disrespect your wife for watching pornography, right? And I think that the man has to talk about it. I think that people should be very open about it, not to be scared, like, oh my God, he watches pornography, he must be a bad guy. Sit with him, talk, try to understand, because maybe he doesn't even know. Maybe he has never had this chance to be listened, because women, unfortunately, we judge men. You are like this, you did that. Well, respect. Shut the fuck up and listen what he has to say. Because we come with this judgment. You did this, yeah? No, we should be like, honey, tell me about it. So you watch pornography. Okay, let's see it. I love you. I respect you. Maybe let's just go through it. Like, why is that? Is there something that I could be giving you in a different way? Yes. I really believe women have to also talk about it openly, and they should stop judging men as well.
Yeah, but I think the issue is that most guys will just say, "Oh, because all my friends are watching it," which is not a.
No. I talk about that's not a reason. Honest conversation. No.
Yeah, that's what most guys will say, because John is watching, because Joe is watching, and that guy and the other. But that goes back to what we were saying on the beginning of this conversation. If people are going where everyone is going, maybe they're not going the right way.
They are not going anywhere then.
Yes.
Yeah, then a woman has to think about her choice, because no one has an obligation to be nowhere. Yes. I have a choice. So if I see that I'm with someone who is unaware, unconscious about him or herself, I would be out.
Yeah, like, a zombie, what I would call a zombie. I think there's nothing more ugly than someone that doesn't know what they are doing. Like, I have more respect for someone doing something I don't agree with than someone who is just going randomly on things. At least the other person took the time to make a decision. I might not be on board with their ideas, but that's fine, because I have more compassion for someone who took the time to think it through. Okay, they make up their minds, not exactly how I see things, but that's a path. But someone who is just fooling around, it's almost like a child, no? And there's nothing uglier than an adult behaving like children, isn't it?
Because the question is the person in its like adult energy, or are we like little kids in like adult body, right? So the choice that we make when it comes to, I'm single right now, yes, I'm like really careful about things as well. Of course, I'm 38 years old, I have my experience, yes, I'm well read. So I would never ever let someone who doesn't deserve me and my energy to come into my life. Because the person I am today, it's someone who worked for years to become that person that I am today. So I believe our energy should be really like protected. Yes, me being with someone is like my energy. It's exchange of energy. It's too big price to be paid to be exchanged with anybody. So for example, sex, just like because oh my god, I feel lonely. No, because it is an exchange of energy. Your energy is something that they can take away every single thing from you, but your energy, this is mine. Yes, it's me. I choose. That's why I'm the captain. Yes, so.
Like that. I like that very much. It's like Solzhenitsyn saying when the Soviets were just taking over, and he said they can take away everything except my dignity.
My dignity. How exactly? How beautiful.
Doesn't matter clothes. They can take the clothes. They can take the house. They can take the property, the cars. Doesn't matter. But his dignity, it was always there. So that's about like energy exchange. And I think there's nothing more important to pay attention when you're dealing with others about how the energy is being transmitted. Like if you are being boosted by the other person, maybe it's someone you should spend time with. But it's not only like men or women, but in general. If the person is just dragging you down, maybe you should limit the time you spend with that person to the small amount you can. I think it's very, very important. There's nothing more vital than knowing that. Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why people shouldn't exchange sexual energy at the first dates. They shouldn't. That's why, because if you start to exchange, women especially, when they exchange sexual energy, they feel attached. The hormones. Oh my God, that's why. Like, don't let like hormones choose your partner. Yes.
And most guys will walk away because they already made it. It happens quite a lot. Okay, I already went to bed with her, so I can move on. That happens very, very much with guys. Yeah, very much, which is sad, because I think that tells that men and women don't know each other that much, because women say, okay, we did that already. Maybe that tells that he is mine, but the guy would think that she's doing that with everyone else, which is not always the case. So there's a lot of misinterpretation between men and women on the beginning, but it's part of getting to know each other.
Yes. Hard work.
So tell me about, just to wrap up, we are now above 1 hour, and I think we could be here forever, which is great.
Which is great.
So many topics.
Also, you are such a mature man, a conversational mature man.
Thank God. Because, mature man these days would be a problem. I would be cancelled. But anyway, I'm prepared for that.
Mature, yes, mature.
Mature will be bad for these days. But anyway, I take the compliment. So what are your projects other than your YouTube channel and Instagram, Life Coach? And what are your projects? And I'm going to put this question, it will be 2 questions in one. What are your projects and how you manage to do it all in one? Because you have multi-hats, which I think it's remarkable. So how do you organize your agenda? What is your time management superpower, and what is on the pipeline?
Yes, I will show my superpower. Oh, people, everybody is ready. I'm selling this.
Who's coming?
Oh, that's something called agenda, right? Agenda, simple one. Yes, I believe that I am very well organized. Yeah, of course, I can improve. And because my day starts at 5 o'clock, I wake up every single day 5 o'clock. Yes, I greet the world. I say thank you, and then I go to CrossFit. I practice for 1 hour every day, and I come back home. And I believe that being organized is the best key. And planning your time. Let's say, like, Edyta, how much time do I spend on let's say, I'm doing my project now, right? Next week, I will be talking to young people about how they can find their own way and how they can be like the only thinkers in their own heads and get rid of the false beliefs. So I was always planning that today I spend 1 hour to work on the topic. Tomorrow, I spend another half an hour to work on the topic. Today, I have to read about the topic, so I'll be watching a YouTube for half an hour. So basically, organizing your time is the best thing, yes? So I'm like, and now because I am a life coach, yes, I help Polish women, because most of my clients are Polish. I help them, yes, to develop and so on. I would like to work on that on my Instagram now, yes, show to people, guys, I can help you. I can teach you. I can give you tools, and I can ask you interesting questions for which you can take the right decisions. And I can make you planning. How can I get where I want to be? And I believe because of that, of studying coaching, I've learned one very important thing. Simple, but like patience and time and patience. Nothing happens one day to another. Yes, everything. Yeah, step by step plan. And unfortunately, people, the biggest problem of people nowadays is not knowing what they want. If you don't know what you want, you just keep like watching social media being nowhere. So I organize my time. Yes, I'm a coach. I teach Portuguese, Polish. I teach Brazilian men Polish language, usually the man who is in love with Polish girls, who are in love. And I teach Polish to people who are interested in living in Poland. And that's it, basically that. Organizing, yes, my project is to develop more my Instagram, have the program that says about my coaching, yes, like sessions. And I want to help people. But the helping people, it's for free. This is just to tell you, it's not like a work that I get money for. I just want to help. Like if I can, if there is something I can do, I want to doing it for free. If it one day brings money in somehow, that's amazing. But right now, just like remember that I don't believe that the world gives you many things if you don't give nothing to the world.
Yes.
You know, it is like exchange. If you have any kind of knowledge, share it on social media, share it on YouTube. Like you, for example, yeah? The way you work is like sharing knowledge, your knowledge, people's knowledge, like showing this on social media. That is the best thing you can do because you don't even know how many lives you can change. You don't know. I have people writing to me, Edyta, you don't know, but I have never, ever gone to any kind of physical activity. I went to CrossFit yesterday. Would you believe? I'm like, wow. Edyta, today was the first day I bought pink dress. I have never worn anything pink in my life, always black. There was a woman writing to me, because of you, I left my ex-husband. And I was thinking, Edyta did it? I can do it too. So, you know, sometimes you say something on social media, you believe that people don't pay attention to it, but there is someone who right now is sitting there and he has to today hear what you said, and he hears it and he says, wow, so true. There was a one girl, she wrote to me, Edyta, you know what you said? Family is just the best on pictures. And I was like, but what did you learn from that? That I accept too much from my family. They treat me like, they disrespect me. They don't love me. I'm out. I don't want to be part of it. I want to be part of something that is beautiful. I want to build my own family. So I'm like, you know, the same what you do here, yeah?
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing. Yeah.
I think we could do a part 2. I can think about very serious about the CrossFit. I might do a CrossFit. I just don't promise I will show up in a pink dress.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's a good one. Yes, no, please don't.
I take the CrossFit.
Femininity, no. No, don't. Yeah. So basically that.
That's very interesting. I like your enthusiasm. I mean, we never talked, just for the audience out there, we never talked directly.
Pleasure. Yes,
So
thank you for inviting
I think
me.
it's great. So yeah, I hope you continue like transmitting your energy, inspiring people in different fields, and whether they're in Poland, in Brazil, in all over the world, but they can make the best of being in touch with you, and you can change their lives in the right direction, because I think you have that ability. So I hope there will be more and more in the future.
Yes, this is what I preach on my Instagram. If people follow me on my Instagram, Gringa vai te contar. Gringa vai te contar. Be ready. It's not going to be easy. And there's a lot of comedy too, as you know. There's a lot of comedy too. Yes.
There is. I'll put the link into the description. So in a few weeks, this is going to be on mine. Maybe by the time I go to Brazil, we didn't talk about it. This will be for the part 2 when I'm back from Brazil. We'll talk about it. Yeah. So
yes, that would be nice. Vito, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm really glad. It was really nice. you are also a wonderful person. You are really
Thank you
like,
so much.
confident, and I see that you work very hard on yourself. Yes. And
Yeah, that will be part 3.
yes, that's amazing. You should be recording more, talking about yourself, your life. How do you go to the gym? I believe that men needs that too.
Yes. Yeah. I've been told that I could inspire others, even in terms of dating, because I have a whole book about dating, but that's
Exactly.
for another time.
Yes, that's amazing. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Good.
I can invite you to my channel now, because you gringa vai te contar, but we will speak in Portuguese.
That's fine. That's fine.
Brazilian.
After I'm back from Brazil, I'll try to get some Brazilian accent and all that, but I will do.
No worries. Yeah, people would love to hear. Nice.
Good. So thank you so much, and all the best for your ventures. You really deserve. Take care.
Thank you very much. Yes. See you.
Bye.